Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Today is Sunday, and so we are on our journey through the book of Psalms. We're looking at Psalm 53 today. If you remember last Sunday, it's harder to remember because we're only doing this every Sunday. So there's a good 6-day break between these Psalms. Last Sunday we talked about the story David wrote. The psalm David wrote about Doeg the Edomite, and it was entitled, "Oh, that guy." And you've run into people like that. You're like, "Oh, that guy." Well, today is something like that too. If you are watching the media and you're surrounded by, we're all surrounded by the world, and you listen to the news and you read the stuff that happens, you're like, what? You're like in bewilderment. Like, does not anyone believe the Lord? And is anyone following the Lord? And it seems like as you watch the news and you hear this crazy stuff that's happening, especially like in our government and stuff now, you're like, why don't people want to follow the Lord and choose to follow Him? They just follow their own path. And they go so far as to say, there is no God. And that's a common thing that is happening now, is people are just saying, there is no God, so I'll just do whatever I want to do. What they've done is, in reality, is by saying there is no God, they have now said, I am God, okay, and they're serving themselves. You're going to serve somebody, whether you admit it or not, but you're going to make someone or something a God. It might be your car, it might be your house, it might be your money, it might be your job, but hopefully it's the one true God, Jehovah and Jesus. So today this psalm here, Psalm 54, is written about this situation, and the big thing he says here is the fool says there is no God. Which you can look at that today. And hopefully you look at the psalm today and you go, yeah, he's right. The fool says there is no God. Just with all the evidence we have that there is a God. And then you have your testimony too that people can't really argue with. You can go, this is what God did for me. And you can go on and say, this is what God did for me. You can't really argue with that. Someone can go, oh, no, you know what? God didn't heal you from that, and God didn't do this for you and stuff. They're a fool because they say there is no God, and you got all the evidence there. Okay. So anyway, let's read here today. This is Psalm 53 here, and it says this. And I'm reading from the New Living today because I like the way it says some things here. Only fools say in their hearts, there is no God. Okay, so there it is. I could, if I just read that would be enough for today. But I'll keep on reading. They are corrupt, and their actions are evil. Not one of them does good. Okay, they've taken and they've made themselves a god, and they're just doing whatever they want to do. Verse 2, God looks down from heaven on the entire human race. He looks to see if anyone is truly wise, if anyone seeks God. I'm sure God is looking down, and he's seeing Christians that are truly following him and is pleased with that. But then he looks at the circus of people saying there is no God and they're out serving themselves, and the mess they're making of their lives, this country, and the world by the goofy things that they think, okay? And fools don't think right, okay? And so they make stupid decisions and do stupid things. And it all comes with starting off with saying there is no God, and then the foolishness continues after that. Verse 3, but no, all have turned away, all have become corrupt. No one does good, not a single one. Well, those who do evil never learn. They eat my people like bread and wouldn't think of praying to God. Terror will grip them, terror like they have never known before. God will scatter the bones of your enemies. You will put them to shame, for God has rejected them. Who will come to rescue Mount Zion, to rescue Israel? When God restores his people, Jacob will shout with joy, and Israel will rejoice. Okay? Psalm starts out with saying, only the fools say there is no God. And then it continues on with saying, God looks down and he doesn't see a whole lot of people following him, but sees all these idiotic people doing idiotic things, starting with saying there is no God, but then the foolishness continues on after that. And then it just says, I hear how God will scatter his enemies and so forth. And then the last phrase, Jacob will shout with joy and Israel will rejoice. Okay? So that's something to remember today, is this: the fool says there is no God. When you say that, that's when stupidity continues on. The foolishness just continues on down that road. All right? So start with that and watch the foolishness come after that. Hey, thanks for watching. Kind of weird episode today, talking about foolishness. But thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through the book of Numbers, and the next Sunday as we continue our journey through the book of Psalms. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.